My name is Beth Ertz, and I've been coming to First Plymouth for about 40 years. Well, I grew up in the United Church of Christ in Ohio, where I spent about 18 years of my life, and it was very comfortable. They had values that were important to me. And so when I came to Denver, I looked for a similar church. About 7 years ago, I had a call from Freedom for Immigrants about sponsoring a woman coming out of detention in the Aurora Detention Center. So we eventually decided to sponsor Molly Bell coming out of the Aurora Detention Center. And she lived with us on and off for about a year. She's now in Glenwood Springs and about to have her final asylum hearing and get approved for asylum in the United States some 7 years later. She has a work permit, a Venezuelan passport, a car, she's renting an apartment, and the Immigration Task Force was instrumental in supporting her and her efforts while she was living here. Most recently, First Plymouth had the opportunity with the City of Denver to sponsor Venezuelans who came and stayed in the church. We set up places for them to sleep and eat and just enjoy life here. It's a pretty large church, pretty large footprint, and a lot of members who wanted to be involved. And so we were able to work with the city and county to bring in 14 different families to First Plymouth just about a year ago. First Plymouth members signed up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for opening the church in the morning, closing it in the evening, making sure that their safety was taken care of. So we felt like the Venezuelans that were being transported by other governors across the country to Colorado were a group of people that we could really support and were part of what our mission asked us to do. It's certainly walking in the steps of Christ. And I think that we did more than was really what other churches were doing. We partnered ecumenically with a Catholic church close by and a number of other churches, Lutheran Family Services, and others that were supporting these Venezuelans. And we provided them with community after they left here. I've had the opportunity to work with an Afghan refugee family that Lutheran Family Services sponsored, and members of our church contributed a large amount of money in order to help them with rent and other needs that they had. They came here as a family of 9. I feel like I've become a member of their family. I love them, I love to visit, I love to have a meal with them. I've had the opportunity to get to know them personally. Just recently, the Women's Luncheon sponsored an afternoon with immigration, and the Venezuelan family and the Afghan family were here. This family left on those cargo planes that you saw videoed leaving Afghanistan, fleeing the country because of the Taliban rule. And this Afghan dad had worked for the army, the Afghan army in Afghanistan, and was in fear for his life. I do see the work of the Immigration Task Force as God's work and in the steps of what Jesus was asking us to do, and that is to feed the hungry, support the marginalized. Those verses are in the Bible. The important thing is that we're taking care of and supporting people to help them get independent and live a full life in the United States.